Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start off with giving all praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And, I just wanted to do, a little spiritual flow, as I always like to do. I have a comment here I just snagged from the comment board. This character, Clear Mind, left a comment and said, and he's talking about these UFOs, right? But he said they are interdimensional beings called Nephilim. They have been here since the beginning, watching and observing, waiting for their moment. When he's referring to, what people in the world call UFOs. And he's trying to say it, they're like, of, a demonic origin, is basically what he's saying. He didn't come up with that on his own. He got that from, these Christian, churches are the ones who, came up with that. These Christians that are kind of like, into their conspiracies or whatever. That's part of their doctrine. Because they teach going back to, what is that? Genesis, the 6th chapter, where it says that, the sons of God came down unto the daughters of men, and they bore children unto them. So they'll use that to say that, these Nephilim came down, these angels came down, and they reproduced with, with humans. And that's not what this means. That's not what it means in that chapter. That's what they'll put it out there as, but those of us in this knowledge, we know that's not true, right? Because the sons of God in that chapter, we're talking about the children of Israel. And there's many precepts that one could go to that call, the believers in Christ, which is, we call them Yahweh Shai. It calls them, sons of God, right? So that's a misunderstanding on their side, saying that the sons of God are some type of like Nephilim, fallen angels. That's a bunch of bull. It's not true. That's just what these guys are brought up with. So you see what Christians did, and I'm familiar with this because I've listened to, some of these channels, and even people I know in real life who subscribe to this doctrine. They teach that that these UFOs we see in the sky, they're of like a demonic origin, right? So they think that that in the future there's going to be some type of like, fake alien invasion, where the aliens are going to, so-called aliens, are going to come down and invade. But in reality, it's, Satan and his minions in those UFOs making themselves appear as aliens. That's their theory on it. But that's not true. We understand those in this truth. We understand that that these UFOs are actually the chariots that the Lord's angels use to maneuver, to get around it. It tells you that, Ezekiel the 1st chapter, Ezekiel the 10th chapter, and there's many other places in the scriptures where it refers to, the chariots of God. And that's what these UFOs are. So you see, it's just another deception. You got these guys, thinking that they know what's up. Thinking that they're deep. So when they see these UFOs, they're going to know that it's not aliens. So they dodge that deception. But then they got tricked with another deception, because they think that it's actually, of a demonic origin. And that's just another deception too, because that's not true. Because those chariots that people are seeing all over the world are the chariots that the Most High's angels use to maneuver themselves to get around in the earth. Now somebody would be like, oh, well, why do they need chariots? Why do they need a vehicle to get around it? And that's a good question. And the answer is they don't need one, but they are gonna use one. Why? Because that's what the text says. So do they need one? No. But this text says they will have them. So therefore, we know what they're going to have them. Just like I'll give an example. I have 2 legs, so I can walk to the destination I want to get to, or I can drive a vehicle to get to the same destination, right? So I have the option of doing either or. And then I can choose which one I'd like to do. But I still have the option of using a vehicle, right? So how is it far-fetched to say that, the heavenly beings, have the same ability to use a vehicle to get around it? And again, the vehicles they use are what people ignorantly, call, UFOs. Because the word UFO just means a unidentifiable flying object. That's what the word UFO means. So we know they're not UFOs, but that's what people in the world call them. So sometimes, if we're speaking on the matter, we'll call them UFOs, just so that, newcomers that are hearing this for the first time, they know what we're referring to, because we'll call it what they already knew it as. You know what I'm saying? Just like sometimes, if we're talking with someone new, it might say Christ, just so they, know what we're referring to. Bear with me for a second. But yeah, I just wanted to comment on that, because, that's part of the deception. Because they want you to think that there's, demonic entities that are going to return and deceive people with this. They call it an alien deception is what they call it. And that's not true. Or that's not true. As I said, we in the truth, we know what these vehicles are. Right? They're the vehicles that the elect are going to be beamed on, to be saved from this place, man. Right? Those are the vehicles the angels are going to use to gather up the elect wherever they be scattered, upon the earth. Tells you that in Matthew 24:29 on down. So as I said, we're always going to have these wayward doctrines, that pop up, especially in the time we're in now, man. Which is what? The time when all of these prophecies, are going to be fulfilled. And that's what we're seeing. Just like with this whole situation, going on, with the Russia and Ukraine conflict, right? The conflict going on over there, man. If you take a diligent look at it, man, you can see they're clearly getting ready for something. And if that's not so, well, why they be sending over, medical, care trucks and that type of equipment, over in that region for the troops stationed over there. And then they got, Ukraine's getting hit with cyber attacks. I mean, come on, obviously something's going on. And that's good, right? That's a good thing. Because why? Because that's those prophecies, man. And we've been telling the people the longest. So guess what? Now it's finally happening. So hey, we don't know what the hell, to expect, man. We don't have, a crystal ball to look through to see the future or nothing. So we don't know what the hell is going to happen. But you always have to be on watch. That's why it tells you in, what is that, Revelation, the 16th chapter. It speaks about, walking with your garments, At least you walk naked and they all see your shame, meaning what? That you got to walk in this truth, man, where you have to always be, diligent, man. You got to be watching the news, right? You got to keep your eyes on these world events, right? Don't listen to these cats like, Russian vids or certain guys from the comment boards. They'll tell you that, oh, well, all of that ain't real. It's just there to trick people. It's like, come on, hell are you talking about? So in the world of 8 billion people, there's nothing real that happens? I mean, that seems utterly ridiculous. Right, so if there's a robbery on the news and they report on it, oh, I can't believe that because I saw it on the news. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. But that's how some of these guys are acting out here. Like as if, you can't believe anything you see on the TV. It's like, where are you getting that from? I'm not saying you should just blindly believe whatever they tell you, but I'm saying there's no reason to deny, things that you see on the news. Like the whole situation they keep reporting on over in Ukraine right now. That's real. There's no reason to believe it's not. There's no reason to believe that that's not real. There's no reason to believe that. Let me see. Which I'm not going to go for too much longer. I just wanted to just give a couple thoughts, on the subject matter at hand. But as I said, you got to be careful with these guys, man. Because these guys are everywhere. And it's funny because you ask, well, where did you learn that from? Like how do you know exactly those UFOs are, of a demonic origin? Like, how exactly do you know? And then they'll explain, they'd learn this from, this pastor, that pastor, or this conspiracy guy on YouTube. And that's where they got it from. But they can't really find that in the scriptures. They're just really repeating what someone else told them. That's all they're doing. But anyway, I think I'll call that the lesson with that. I'm going to say shalom.